Welcome back to another episode of Yachting Unplugged. We are coming to you from the boating capital of the world, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the iconic
And
Pier
beautiful.
66
I know.
Resort and Marina. So good to see you, Rick. It's
Kim,
been forever.
It's been forever. What a summer. It's hard to
Yes,
imagine
yeah.
just how much has gone on in the last few weeks. And here we are. Good to be
Here we
back
are.
again.
And what a great place. Obviously, this is going to be the boat show's coming up soon. This is going to be one of the anchor locations at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. It's a little quiet right now, which is nice.
It's nice.
But it's raining, but we figured out why not? Let's just shoot in the rain.
Yeah. Well, Megan made it possible for us. And,
Yes, Megan Lagasse Washington, who's a dockmaster here at Pier 66.
Yeah.
She's one of our favorites.
She is really one of the best. And she's done such a great job in supporting us and becoming an integral part of what's made Yachting Unplugged possible here in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Yes. So thank you, Megan, and thank you for her team. So let's get down to it. I mean, we took like a month off.
Yeah, I
We were
know.
super busy. There's been not a lot of news, which was a nice, change for both of us, that we could at least take a little bit of break.
You hung out with
Lauren
Stanley. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough, and I'm going to give a shout out to anyone that's a CEO in Florida or really around the country. I met Bill Zito through Andrew Koenig, who's the CEO of City Furniture. But if you're a CEO and you're a cancer focused, or it's very near and dear to your heart, join the American Cancer Society CEOs Against Cancer. That's how I met Bill Zito and became familiar with him, got to know him and his family. And they're all about really just raising awareness. And they invited me and my family, Chase and I, to Isla Morada. And I hung out with Lord Stanley's
Stanley Cup.
Itself.
Yeah, that's so cool.
What an amazing time it was. And we were on a Boston whaler, and we had just a phenomenal 3 days with the Zito family. So it was really nice. And you, what did you do?
Wow. Well, audaciously enough, we hitched a one atmosphere submarine and a 23-foot chase boat behind our F-350. And Robert Carmichael and Tristan and I drove from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Folsom Lake, California.
That's a long drive.
Oh my goodness. Went through 3 mountain passes and the entire length of Nebraska and Wyoming. What a great way to see the country. But we did go out to launch the submarine in Folsom Lake and to test the whole concept of trailering and launching by boat ramp one atmosphere submarines.
Nice. And there was someone famous involved. Are we allowed to talk about it?
Not yet.
Oh, you're
but
killing it.
I know.
I told our followers and our audience that you're with someone uber famous. My son was like, loves it too.
Yeah, it's going to be fun when I'm able to actually bring it out. And Tristan did get a little bit of B-roll and stood in as a stunt double. So that was kind of fun. But that was my July, crazy as it was.
I know.
Here we are in August.
Rolling right into, what's coming up next? Boat show season is coming, right? That's
wow.
As you breathe.
Yeah, no, it's real.
Yeah. So let's go over some dates I really want to talk about. We've got what's coming up next.
Well, the next one that I'll be attending, I'm hoping you're able to get over there, is the Monaco Yacht Show.
Yes, that is September 24th to the 27th.
Yes.
And there's a record-breaking lineup from what I understand.
Well, there's almost 600. And it's funny too, because there's really 3 Monaco shows that happen concurrently. The official one, which you pay €750 for a ticket to get into. Yeah. And
worth it?
Per day.
Per day.
Yeah. And there's about 580 exhibitors that are actually in that show. Then out in the harbor, you've got about another 50 or 60 yachts on the hook. That's like its own brokerage show that happens simultaneously. It just is what it is. And then on the periphery of the Monaco Yacht Show, you've got a lot of restaurants that are turned into show venues. So you've got additional companies that come
restaurants become like
private displays,
right?
Meeting places. You spawn 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 companies will come together and sponsor a space in one of these. Right. So it's a great place to go have a meal, have a private conversation. You get internet and toilets and all that kind of stuff, which is important. And it makes for a really amazing yacht show.
Love it. Well, also in September, we have the Cannes Yachting Festival. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That's September 9th through the 14th.
Right. And important there, a friend of ours, Bob Allen of Robert Allen Law.
Yes.
He is doing a fundraiser for Mercy Ships. It's a charity he's very near and dear to him. And so during the Cannes show, he's going to be raising money for Mercy Ships. There's going to be a gala event, working out details right now, but we may be going out there and live streaming that event from the Cannes Yacht Show. That's not official yet, but it's something that Bob and I are talking about right now. And if we can make that happen, that would be really cool. So you've got the Cannes show about 2 weeks before the Monaco show. You got Robert Allen Law doing the Mercy Ships fundraising gala. And then coming out of the southern France, you go up to the UK for the Hampton.
Yeah, and that's, folks, that's September 19th to the 28th at Southampton International Boat Show.
Yeah, it does conflict with Monaco a little bit, but, it's more a regional show. And then you pop back across the pond and go right into IBEX.
Yes, I'm really excited about IBEX. I've actually been working with the team at IBEX. We have had multiple conversations about more captains being involved. Our mini businesses, if you will, sometimes even larger than most. And I really wanted to speak to the captain and the crew. You are invited to IBEX. I suggest that you do come. There's so much, it's not just about manufacturing. There's so much more that really they can provide you and your yacht. And
it's industry. And it's a wonderful cross-section of the industry, predominantly U.S. industry, although more and more there's international companies coming in.
Yeah.
So, IBEX is definitely
hundreds and hundreds of exhibitors there. If you're, like I said, captain and crew should attend, as well as any dealer across America. I think we have like 4,000 boat dealers that want to expand their service and parts department. You really need to get to IBEX.
Yeah, no question about it. I'll be there. You'll be there.
I will be there.
We're gonna broadcast from there a little bit, so that'll be fun to kind of bring that home to everybody.
I know. I'm excited to see everyone there. All right, let's talk about industry intel.
Okay, let's go.
Well, from what I've heard, Super Yacht Times is the big buzzword right now is sustainability.
It's been ongoing. It's a conversation that's been happening in the large yacht industry for years, but we're starting to see more and more. I talked before about being on board Breakthrough last November in Amsterdam, and that's got hydrogen fuel cells, 119-meter boat, big boat. I just interviewed in yachts here in Pier 66 of all places.
Yeah. Beautiful office here.
Timothy Hamilton and I talked about the same thing, and Lurson's got a program. They're developing some large yachts with different technology, but hydrogen propulsion. And electric boats, I mean, we got Voltari right here, and they've got their own version.
It's building traction. You're starting to see more people accepting it now more than ever.
Yep.
And let's talk about the ship Breakthrough by FedShip. We talk about it's not only beautiful with all of its balconies and all the amenities on
visually,
board.
maybe one of the most beautiful yachts delivered on the ocean today. It is just visually stunning.
Well, let's switch to the 20. I was at a party last night. There's a lot of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds. And yachting to them is a lot different. There's more about ice bars and cold plunges and like wellness. And
lifestyle.
So you're seeing this big shift towards a different type of build.
Yeah. More outdoor spaces, more access to the ocean, more access to the sun, more health focus, less cigar bars and wine cellars. And not that they aren't there, but more kind of catering to a healthier lifestyle and more on the ocean lifestyle.
Well, IBI, actually, there's an article that is in the news right now talking about, I think it's the CEO of Rolls-Royce made a statement about how that group from crypto influencers, the ultra, whether they're athletes, whoever you may be, the ultra high net worth individual is changing boating.
Yeah.
Their wants are different. So it's a great article. Check it out. It's definitely worth looking at. All right. Let's talk about, and speaking of visionaries, you had mentioned.
Yeah.
Gabe Newell.
Yeah. So Gabe Newell, he's an American billionaire, top 6 or 7, I believe.
Yeah.
He was one of the original founders of Microsoft, and he left that to go and start his own gaming empire, which he's done quite successfully, obviously. Valves is the name of the company, and Harvard dropout. I love that.
Some of the most successful CEOs in the world and business owners are dropouts.
Yeah, so, what does that tell you? They figure it out early enough in their education to go, okay, I know what to do. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But anyway, he has just gone over and bought Ocean Co. from Mohammed Al Barwani. It's fun to interject this because I actually met Mr. Al Barwani at Turquoise Shipyards about 6 years ago. He and his sons was invited to sit down into a design meeting that they were having, and was really privileged to be there. And wonderful gentleman. He sold Ocean Co. to Gabe, and now we've got an American gamer yacht owner now owns an American shipyard. I love that.
I know. I think it's great. There's value in not just the product that it puts out, but the land and everything else involved. So I think it's more of just it's all encompassing.
It's multifaceted. And of course, he's selling yachts to like his big buddy, Jeff Bezos. who currently owns one of the largest sailing yachts in the world. And so I don't know whether, whether it's just billionaires, comparing notes kind of thing or what that looks like. But it is cool that we've got an American now in Holland building big yachts. Yeah. And the hope is eventually one of these high net worth individuals decides to bring it back to the United States and make those kinds of investments here locally. About that.
You and I had some coffee talk right before we started filming. We talked about where are the areas that other companies that are looking to move here to the States because of the potential tariffs and the situation. Right. What are some of the areas that you think would be those areas that can handle such a large facility?
First of all, South Florida is not one of those because the cost of manufacturing, cost of everything here is too expensive to be competitive. But I will tell you, I was in a conversation with a dear friend that's in the marina space earlier this week, and he can't reveal, nor can I reveal the name of the entity, but there's a European shipyard that's just signed an LOI, letter of intent, to relocate some of their manufacturing here to the Southeast United States.
Nice.
And this should be announced sometime between now and the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show.
Excellent.
And so it begins, and it's probably something in the 30 to 40 meter range. Big yachts, not small little production boats, but in that, what I call a sweet spot where I think we can compete in building that size boat and be relevant in the industry. So
the southern east coast of the United States is a gold mine for companies like that.
You go up into the Gulf area, such as Gulfport, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, parts of Louisiana. There is a lot of commercial shipbuilding that happens there. There's a lot of infrastructure there. There's a lot of labor and skilled labor that exists there. And that's what you need to start building boats. And that resource and that assets here in the United States.
Absolutely.
Southeast is good. Savannah's another area that's probably pretty rough.
And there's a lot of business incentives. We have obviously the Greater Fort Lauderdale Business Alliance. There's a lot of companies that give tax credits. So, it's so worth just moving your business here.
Yes.
For many reasons.
Totally agree.
Open arms. We welcome you.
Yeah, let's come. So, Kim, you were telling me also in our little coffee catch up that Mercury's got some new product coming out.
I'm really happy to see Mercury. I've been in the dealership side for decades. The outboard motor has always been, it's revolutionized. Inboards are now becoming more outboard powered boats. But Mercury announced recently that they now have a 425, which builds on their very, very successful V10 Verado block. They came out with the 400. So a lot of the tenders that you see, especially in this marina, have the V10 400 horsepower motor. Super successful.
Super efficient too.
Super light, super efficient. Just not a lot of maintenance, issues. So now they have the 425. So hats off to Mercury for stepping up the game again.
Again, that's cool. Let everybody else follow, right?
It's a great option for tenders,
It would be.
Yeah, it would be.
So good news if you're in the market for a big yacht, because the U.S. District Court in New York has just announced that as of August 5th, just a few days ago, that they're doing a sealed bid auction on motor yacht Amadeus, which is a 106 meter Lursen that was basically forfeited or confiscated when the Russians invaded Ukraine and the whole sanctions came into play. So that boat's been sitting for 3 years in limbo. It is now up for auction, and $10 million will get you to the table to start your bids.
I like it.
And I think by mid-September, they're going to unseal the bids, and someone's going to have the opportunity to probably get a really good deal on 106 meter Lursen motor yacht. Lursen, by the way, builds some of the finest yachts in the world.
When you talk about a really good deal, and I want to do a side, squirrel on us and talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and how important it is if you are looking to purchase a yacht. Contact your CPA, contact someone like Robert Allen Law or a maritime attorney that can really share with you the benefits of really taking advantage of that act. It allows you to have 100% bonus depreciation the first year of ownership of the asset as well as expenses. So if you have to offset, let's say crypto or some sort of major tax, profit or capital gain, it's a great time to buy a yacht now.
Really is a good opportunity.
Yeah. So I think, we are news. We're not supposed to say what we think, but I believe that the charter industry, the charter industry probably will be taking off because the one caveat is it has to be used 51% for business in order to qualify.
And there you go. And a lot of these big boats are well suited for commercial operation, charter. And it's an opportunity for those who are ready to take advantage
and
of
the
it.
Fort Lauderdale Boat Show's coming up in October. That's probably going to be a good place for people to start looking and then closing by the end of the year on such an opportunity like that.
Yep.
Well, speaking of opportunity, I want to talk about the actual submarine issue, the project that you did.
You know what?
I got to take a few minutes and talk about that before we wrap it up.
Yeah, it was fun because, of course, we're driving across the country, and I don't think anybody's ever seen a submarine being towed behind a truck through the cornfields of Nebraska and the
Were there photo opportunities.
People were taking pictures and stopping at every truck stop, asking questions, wanting to take pictures next to the submarine. It was fun. But besides working with this influencer that we'll be able to talk about later this year, one of the reasons we did this was 1 atmosphere submarines are typically carried on board research vessels, some large yachts. They are launched and retrieved by cranes into the ocean. And we are unaware of any submarines that have actually been trailered and launched on boat ramps.
Oh, right.
And what's important about that is when you look at all of the deep water, freshwater lakes throughout North America and other places around the world, that opens up all sorts of opportunities for research and exploration.
Absolutely.
If you can get these submarines in the water. So we carried the submarine and the support boat and all the necessary spares and supplies.
Those waters that you were in?
250 feet. Yeah. We're going up to Lake Tahoe later this month, which is closer to 1,000 feet in some places. Okay. And this submarine was rated for 2 passengers, 1,000 feet deep, 8-hour runtime, 72 hours of life support on board. The cool boat. So we did prove successfully in 2 different lakes that we could launch, operate, and retrieve. And that was cool. And then my son, Tristan, got to be the swimmer. And if you know anything about submarine operations, that's one of the most important jobs because he's the guy that puts the tow bridle on, the lifting bridle on, takes it off, gets the cover over the dome, dries out the hatch so people can come in and come out. All of that stuff. To have a nice, he was hands-on making it happen. I loved it. So it was a great experience.
Yes, and I know who the influencer is, and I just have to say you're going to be super excited to hear about it, and I can't wait to hear the news on that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So when can we expect
Probably November.
Okay.
He's asked us not to say anything until his show comes out, and then I'll have lots of commentary about what you see on his show.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I can't believe how many millions and millions of followers this person has. It's
96 million people follow him, and his videos normally get about 120 to 160 million views.
It's incredible.
Yeah, well, could we only be so successful, right?
Exactly. Well, speaking of success, we wish everyone a great August. I know it's a slow time. Kids are going back to school. The systems are in their little slow time right now, but enjoy the time, the last few days with your children and your family before the craziness starts and the boat show season begins.
Let it begin.
Right. I know. Well, it's raining. It's getting ready to start raining here again.
Yeah, look at that.
You can see what's behind us. It's all black. And
I love it.
Yeah. Well, great seeing you.
Kim, so good to see you again too.
And look forward to seeing you on our next episode, everyone. If you like us, I'm sure they do. Follow, share, comment, please. And if you have any relevant news, hit up Rick or I. Our information is below. We'd love to bring it to you live. We are bringing more news in between our episodes via an online studio. So if there's some breaking news, we will be reporting on that. And we really want to stress safety lately. It has been one thing I have to say that every day there's some major story about the lack of safety, following safety rules. So we're going to be talking more about that in our next episode. So great August, everyone. And don't forget to boat smart from the start. And always stay unplugged, as we say.
Unplugged.
Keep it real.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
Until the next time. We're out of here.
If your brand belongs in the heart of the yachting world, this is where it happens. Yachting International Radio reaches over 1 million yachting professionals and enthusiasts every month, with 77 million impressions, 220,000 social followers, and 74,000 podcast subscribers. Our hosts are insiders, crew, captains, CEOs, trusted voices shaping the industry. This is targeted, high-impact advertising in a luxury niche. Visit yachtinginternationalradio.com/advertise. Your audience is already listening.